From Caterpillars to Butterflies, Episode 2, Change Your Frequency to Change Your Life.
Welcome to the From Caterpillars to Butterflies Personal Growth Podcast. Just like the caterpillar is destined to become a butterfly, you too are designed for a beautiful transformation. This is where you go to grow and transform your life. And now, here's your host, Certified Life Coach, Charlene Dior.
Hey, this is Charlene. Thank you for joining me for this episode of From Caterpillars to Butterflies, where we're talking about frequency. We're talking about how to change your frequency in order to change your life. And I'm going to give you some practical things that you can start to do immediately, like as soon as you stop listening to this, you can immediately do in order to shift your frequency so that you can really create the life that you desire. So when you get started on this path of really understanding that you can have a life that's bigger than what you've previously thought was possible or what anyone in your family has ever achieved, and you start down this journey of personal growth and really just fulfillment and abundance, you're going to hear this word frequency a lot. I certainly have, and I never really understood what it meant. And I've been going to a lot of personal growth events lately. I was at an event for Mary Morrissey recently, and I've never heard of her before. So I know that there's a good chance that you haven't either, even though she's been in this space for, I think, 30 or 40 years. So she's well known, but I just didn't know about her. So Mary Morrissey is a teacher similar to a Wayne Dyer or a Tony Robbins or a Jim Rohn. She actually had the same mentor as Wayne Dyer and Les Brown. So she's a personal growth teacher and coach, and she does some spiritual work as well. She actually, I think, has a degree from seminary school or something along those lines. So she's also a spiritual teacher as well. I went to an event from her recently, and she talks about frequency a lot, and I just didn't understand. And I would be at lunch with some of the other attendees. Just as a side note, I think it's really valuable to go to some of these events alone. I have always gone alone because no one in my life wants to go with me. But what's advantageous about that is that it kind of forces you to meet new people and to not just stick with who you came with and have lunch with other people and drinks with other people after the event is over or whatever. So as a side note, if you find yourself at a personal growth event, don't always feel that you need to take someone with you. Be open to going alone. So anyways, every time I was sitting down with someone for lunch or dinner or whatever, I just kept saying, I don't really understand this frequency thing. I don't get it. And one woman said to me, well, it means love and gratitude. You have to operate from a place of love and gratitude. So I was thinking, okay, I got it. And I understood it, but I didn't really understand it. It did not really sink in, even though I get it. Okay, operate from love and gratitude. And I guess for me, it didn't really sink in because I think I already operate from love and gratitude. I'm not walking around operating from hate or unthankfulness. So I think I'm already pretty loving and thankful for life. So I didn't really sink deep into me. But on the last day, Mary Morrissey tells a story. And this is what really did it for me, where I really understand what it means to shift your frequency in order to create the life that you really most want to live. So Mary Morrissey was a young mother, a young wife. She actually had her first child in high school. So she's young, she's married, she's a mother, she is in college getting a degree. And her husband is the breadwinner. He's the sole source of income for their family. So one day, Mary and her husband go to an event similar to the events that she now puts on. It was a personal growth event. And the teacher said to them that nothing bad ever happens to you in life. And when something bad that you think is bad happens to you, don't think of it as being bad. Instead of reacting and thinking how bad this thing is, give yourself 3 days before you react, before you have an opinion about it. And in the process of those 3 days, ask yourself, what good could come from this? Because his philosophy is that nothing bad ever happens to you. So what good can happen from the seemingly bad things? So shortly after her and her husband went to that event, a young Mary Morrissey, young mother, not working, just going to school. Her husband makes the only money in the house, is at home, and her husband comes in and he's clearly bothered or down or in a funk. And so Mary's like, well, what's going on? And he proceeds to tell her that he and several other people were let go that day. And of course, Mary wants to freak out. She's a young mother. She doesn't have a job, and her husband, the sole breadwinner, just lost his source of income. But because they had just gone to this event, they have a new tool to help them get through it. So her husband's like, well, let's just follow the man's advice. Let's wait 3 days and see how it goes. And let's just think of ways that we can make this turn out for our good. So her husband at the time had a 90-minute commute one way. So they're sitting there and they're writing out their list of what good could come from this. And one of the things on the list is that he could find a job that's closer to home. Okay, that's on the list. Well, what else good could come from this? He could find a job that pays him more money. Great. So what else good could come from this? He could find a job that requires him to work less hours. And so they're making this list of all the things that could come good out of him losing his job. And he ultimately gets a new job that's closer to home, that pays more money, and that requires him to work less hours. Basically what they were putting down on their list. And that's where frequency comes in. Because if Mary and her husband had not gone to that event, they might have followed their first impulse, which would have been to freak out, to panic. And panic is a frequency that creates a different set of outcomes, because the ideas and the solutions and the next steps that are generated when you are freaking out are different than what you will create when you are calm and collected and really focused on what you really want. So I think of frequency as being defensive frequency and offensive frequency. And you can think of that as being love and hate, or gratitude or unthankfulness. But to me, what helps me wrap my mind around it is there's an offensive frequency and there's a defensive frequency. The defensive frequency is, how do I stop the bottom from falling out? How do I stop this from getting any worse? How do I just maintain what I have? And the offensive frequency is, what do I really want? And what's going to get me there? Because if Mary and her husband were panicking, their ideas might have been, Mary has to drop out of school. She can't finish her degree. She needs to get a job. Their ideas might have been, we have to sell our house, or we have to sell our car. We'll take public transportation. The ideas and the next steps and how do we move forward would have been one that is geared towards keeping the bottom from falling out. And we probably wouldn't have the Mary Morrissey that we have today, because how many times do people take an action that is meant to be temporary just to stop the bleeding, and then it becomes permanent? So when you are thinking about where your frequency is at, it's always offensive. You're always thinking about what you most want out of life. And you're not thinking about what you don't want out of life and how to prevent that from happening. You're on the offense. You're thinking about how to score the next point, what good could come out of this, how to make this situation in alignment with my vision. Because Mary's vision was to get her degree in seminary and to teach people. That was her vision. And if she would have dropped out of school, then she would not have been moving in the direction of her vision. Okay, so your frequency is offensive frequency or the defensive frequency. The offensive frequency is what is going to move me to my highest vision for my life. The defensive frequency is what is going to stop me from sinking any lower than what I am right now. It's about maintenance. It's not about growth. So you can even think of the frequency as being a growth frequency or a maintenance frequency. So you're focused on how do I just maintain versus how do I grow? And so you can see how the person who's freaking out isn't really creating their best life. The person who's focused on maintenance and defense, they're not creating their best life either because they're not focusing on the vision. The person who is focused on offensive play and growth, they're the ones who are creating the life that they really want. They're not settling for the life that they don't want. They're not focused on what they don't want. They're keeping their focus on where they want to go and what they most want out of life. That is how you transform your life, by changing your frequency, by changing your thoughts, by changing your reactions. You're making sure that your actions and your thoughts, because they say thoughts become things, so your thoughts become actions. So making sure that your thoughts are aligned with where you want to go and not on what you don't want to happen or where you don't want to be or status quo, but you're always focused on where you're going. So I promised that I would give you some ways to immediately implement this into your life. And so I have some tips here for you. The very first thing that I think everyone should do is to declutter their space. And I know that we talk about decluttering a lot. We hear this a lot, and I don't know that we ever really understand the value or the importance of it. I moved into my house 7 years ago. And there are some things that went from the moving truck to the garage, and they have stayed there for 7 years. And every time I get in my car, I see the boxes and I think I should really get those up. I've got to do something with them. I don't know. I got to clean this mess up. And so twice a day, most days, I am in the garage because I'm walking to my car or I'm walking from the car to my house. So in that moment when I'm thinking I've got to clean this mess up, I'm not thinking from a place of gratitude. I'm not thinking I love this stuff. I love my space. I'm not thinking I'm so thankful to have this. I'm thinking I've got to get rid of it. I hate it. I don't like it. And so that's those seconds that I'm thinking about that, and even minutes if I dwell on it, they add up to hours over time. And so all the hours of my life that I am spending thinking about the things that I don't want, that I'm not thankful for having, are taking me off of the frequency that I need to be on in order to create what I really want to create. I was listening to a CD from Michael Bernard Beckford, and he was talking about what worry does to you. When you are worrying, then you don't have the space to have the creative energy and creative power inside your mind, inside your thoughts, because you are busy with the worry ones. It's the same sort of thing. If I'm thinking about what I don't want in my garage, I have occupied space that could have been better served towards thinking about what I really do want in my life. So you want to go through your house and you want to declutter. You want to declutter your house. You want to declutter your car. You want to declutter your garage. You want to declutter your purse. You want to declutter your desk, because every time you look at it, it is going to trigger your frequency to defense, to what I don't want. And so by immediately removing the stimuli, the things that stimulate your defensive thinking, you will be more likely and more equipped to focus your thinking on offensive thoughts and high frequency thoughts, not the low frequency thoughts. So that's why you want to declutter. And I recommend starting with the things that you see, the things that are the most distracting for you. So I wouldn't go start with my junk drawer, because you probably don't go in your junk drawer every day, but you do walk through your garage every day if you're like me. So I would start with my garage. So start with the things that are most taxing and that are most putting you on this lower frequency, not serving you. Focus on those things first, prioritize those things first, and then keep going until everything is decluttered. The other thing, I learned this from Jack Canfield. He says that you should go through your house and fix or remove everything that you don't feel good about. So it could be, it's not clutter, but it just is broken or you don't like it. So again, when you walk past something in your house that's broken, it could be a broken clock. It could be like me. I have his and her sinks in my bathroom, and I dropped something down the drain. So I went to the store and bought some stuff to take it apart, which I did, but I couldn't get it back on again. So my one sink isn't usable. And that is making my thoughts shift to what I don't want, what needs to change, what I'm not thankful for, right? Because I'm thinking, I really have to get that fixed. I wonder how much a plumber costs. But I got so much to do. I don't have time. And I'm spending my thoughts on a low frequency area. So you want to go through your house and you want to fix the things that are broken. Or if you just don't like something, you don't like the color of that wall, you want to fix it so that you can stop triggering your thoughts to focus on low frequency things. So step number 1 is declutter. Step number 2, once you've decluttered, is to go and fix broken things and things that you just don't feel good about. Things that trigger you to focus your thoughts and your energy on low frequency thoughts. The third thing, borrowing from the advice that Mary Morrissey got, I'm going to break it into 2 things. One are minor inconveniences. So when you find yourself with facing minor inconveniences, minor triggers, I want you to wait 30 minutes. So I went to go see Jack Canfield, and once it was over, there was a book signing, and the line grew long fast, and I was irritated. But then I said, okay, I'm going to give myself 30 minutes before I get irritated. I'm just going to be cool and mellow for 30 minutes. But guess what? By the time the 30 minutes has come, the line is moved. I was probably out of there, but in 30 minutes, if I was still paying attention, but I let it go. So with minor inconveniences, you get stuck in traffic. Your child brought an F home on their report card. You don't want to stand in line at the grocery store. Give yourself 30 minutes before you react. Before you judge the situation, before you decide that it's bad for you, give yourself 30 minutes. For bigger inconveniences or issues like getting fired or breaking up with someone or bigger things, I want you to give yourself 3 days before you react, before you decide that this is bad for me and I'm going to freak out and what can I do to not lose my shirt on my back. Give yourself 3 days before you react. And in the process of those 3 days, you can journal on what good could come from this. What good can come from this? So that's step 3. Step 4, spend time focused on what you really want. That means spending time daydreaming, visioning what you want for your future, uninterrupted time, not thinking, I'd really love to do XYZ, but I can't because of, ABC. But just really allowing yourself to go there, to go far, to go deep, and you're not rebutting anything. You're not debating with yourself. You're not giving yourself any whys. You can't do it. You're just going to give yourself uninterrupted time, 10 minutes a day, uninterrupted time of visualizing what you most want to have out of life. And from there, you're going to just keep building upon it till you are living your life all the time from a place of a high frequency of what I really want to achieve, what is most appealing to me in my life. And you're going to move away from the lower frequency thoughts and actions that are what I don't want, what I have to do to stop things from getting worse or to stop the bottom from falling out. So those 4 steps or items will help you do that. So the first 2 are really the byproduct. Decluttering and fixing things in your house that are broken lead to higher frequency thoughts just as a byproduct of getting rid of the triggers to your low frequency thoughts. And then the other two are more purposeful. I'm going to do this on purpose to focus on what I really want to focus on. So those are 4 things that you can start. You can start decluttering right now, okay? If you're at home or you're in your car and you got clutter, you can right now stop and start throwing things away. And what I want to say too about decluttering, you need to give yourself some rules around decluttering, because this is what happens. You say, well, I'm going to sell this on eBay, or I'm going to have a yard sale, or I'm going to give this to such and such. And then you don't do it. So as you're just decluttering your house and you're deciding what you're going to do with it, you need to give yourself a deadline. If you're going to sell something online, you need to post it online within a certain time frame. And if it's not done, then it gets donated or thrown in the trash can. If it doesn't sell within a certain time frame, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then it gets donated. It doesn't get to be listed somewhere for 2 years so that it can just stay in your house. Give yourself some rules. Have an accountability partner to help you keep those rules, because that's why we have clutter to begin with, because we swear up and down that we're going to do something with it. But you need to make some decisions. You're going to go through your house and you're going to decide what stays, what goes, and by what timeline it goes. And if it doesn't go by that timeline, either by selling it, by giving it to someone else, then it has to be donated or thrown away. Don't let this linger on forever. Those are my 4 steps on how to change your frequency so that you can change your life.
And now, a moment of meditation. If you're not driving, cooking, or doing anything that requires your full attention, take a deep breath and close your eyes as Charlene leads you into an inspiring meditation.
Eyes closed, mind and body relaxed. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale again. Imagine in front of you is a staircase. At the top of the staircase is the highest frequency. Take a step up the staircase. Feel your love increase. Feel your gratitude and appreciation for all that you have increase. Continue to move up the staircase, and with each step, allow yourself to feel more love and more gratitude and more appreciation for life. Take another step. Feel your love grow. Feel your gratitude and appreciation grow. And as you keep climbing, your energy keeps growing. Your frequency keeps increasing. The higher and higher you get up the staircase. Now feel the amount of love inside of you double. Feel your gratitude of life double. Continue climbing the staircase. And now with each step, all the love and gratitude and appreciation you feel doubles with each step. Let the love that you feel consume you. Let the gratitude that you feel consume you. Feel it spill over. You're so full of love and gratitude and possibilities that it starts to spill over. And with each step, it keeps increasing. And the closer you get to the top of the staircase, the more clarity you have. See your clarity increase. See your vision get clearer. And as you get closer to the top of the staircase, your confidence and your ability to attract and create the life you want increases. Take another step up the staircase and feel the love and the gratitude. Feel the appreciation and the confidence in your ability to create the life you desire double. See your vision get clearer and clearer. Feel the love and gratitude continuing to spill out of you. Allow yourself to fully feel and to fully embrace this high level of frequency. Let it consume you and take over every inch of your body and your mind and your emotions. Let this feeling drive all of your decisions and all of your behaviors. The feeling of abundant love and gratitude and confident assurance that you will attract the life that you want. And the life that you want continues to get clearer and clearer. Feel the love. Feel the gratitude. Feel the unlimited possibilities that exist for you. I'm going to count to 3. And when I get to 3, I want you to open your eyes and feel unlimited love and unlimited gratitude and unlimited possibility. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes and carry this feeling of unlimited love and unlimited gratitude and unlimited possibility and confidence in yourself with you for the rest of the day and for the rest of your life. Until next time, grow on purpose.
Thanks for listening to the From Caterpillars to Butterflies podcast, your one-stop shop for all things personal growth. For today's show notes and even more tools and resources to help you transform the life you have into the life you love, go to www.fromcaterpillarstobutterflies.com.